this. I'm fucking 40 years old singing these fucking young boy songs. I'm sorry. I can't control myself right now. I just can't control myself right now. I can't. I'm sorry. And I feel like a fucking asshole. That's also why I feel fucking terrible because I could have just been like, ha. But I said this thing and I put all this weight on it and I turned around and I wanted us to be perfect. We weren't, and I could have just been like, we're fun with rejects. It doesn't matter. The stakes aren't high. This is the fucking end of the world. And instead, I just beat myself up, so that it just hurts because I let it kill me. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this whole outburst. Truly.
It's extremely self-aware. It's awesome. Let it out.
Proof that I am a lunatic. Ha! Don't use this against me, Andy.
Are you nostalgic for 2000s music? Then it's time to move along.
The All-American Rejects are doing the coolest thing in music I have ever seen in my life.
Your favorite band playing a free show in your backyard.
The band is leaning into nostalgia with their house party tour.
It feels like we're living in the early 2000s again.
And they're selling tickets for like $5 a piece, like the good old days.
So I filled out the form and put it in my house.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did.
We see all your comments, DMs requesting these house parties in your city, and we're gonna make it fucking happen.
The band says it's their answer to overpriced venues that are pushing music because fans can no longer afford the cost of soaring concert tickets.
The idea born out of just a real pure, intentional moment of like, let's go have fun and get back to the way we started when we started touring with this band in a van.
I literally saw this like 4 hours ago. I'm like, no way you're playing over here. We were 10 feet, 2 feet, 0 feet away from it. Felt like he was playing in my backyard. See a band this big finally do stuff like that. Like, oh shit, they're finally giving back. As fans, we feel seen.
And it feels like they care. This is what shows must have felt in like 2012.
I thought 4 kids from Oklahoma create such a ruckus so many years later.
You guys are the All-American Rejects?
No,
the Redskins.
So where is the almighty Buffalo fucker?
He's in here. Do you know this song?
It's me.
This is the Shitty Beatles.
I'm Shitty. We're an All-American Reject band. We wrote all the songs before everybody. You'll see. They just stole them out from underneath us. So you just.
Is this true?
Hey, do I lie?
Cool. Ready to talk.
Okay. What you got?
Okay. Cup of Casualties.
Okay.
The original demo is like it's got this like pouty cup of casualties.
I literally referenced the demo for
Okay.
every single line that I comped, and
Cool.
I did my best.
You did a great job.
I did my best at finding a new version or a better version of it. Let me time compression. We went from 119, and I got my even number 120 after all. Look at that.
I knew it would happen regardless. I did. That's why I did them all like that. I was like, either way, these are gonna go up, these are gonna go down, and they're gonna end up even. Nick records everything in an even tempo. So I purposefully, when I would write any song or start anything to write, I would make sure it was odd because I'm odd and easy.
So I should have that sometime tomorrow. What's the deal tomorrow? Do you have any idea?
We have to sound check, or else we're gonna sound like shit. It's wedges and it's a crapshoot, and we can't be asking for adjustments during the fucking show, or else it's going to take away the facade that we are fucking here to just throw down. Kids are gonna be lining up for this. So honestly, the more in the mid-afternoon,
Earlier the better, yeah.
4 o'clock-ish, we'll go back to the hotel, wait to play, boom.
Cool. wasn't cool enough to play house parties when I was a teenager or that one year I went to college. But now, look at me. Look at me now.
It wasn't a whole year. Okay.
Well, thanks, you're so damn sure that you're perfect.
We started out as a cover band in bars, and it reminds me about fucking how far we fucking came.
I forgot what it's like to have people actually right here. Right there.
I felt so short.
Yeah.
Like I'm so used to looking into like just an expanse that doesn't matter. There's no real actual interaction. Oh, shit, you're looking right at me.
Yeah.
Why are you all not working through a major record label this time?
Really? Times were different. You had MTV and radio. Got us there. They were the gatekeepers to this. There was only one way. But it's 2025 now. And if you're an independent artist, guess what you do? You have your own audience.
Each day's gotten progressively crazier.
Hey guys, this is the court manager. Hey, we gotta shut it down. Okay, shut it down. Yeah, shut it down.
The cops just shut us down. Sorry, y'all. We just got kicked off campus.
Like, Green Bay was pretty chill.
The All-American Rejects here to interrupt your curriculum and to fuck up your finals.
This is important university studies. I'm just trying
This is a final exam. You guys are... Get the hell out of here.
Come on, life is more than college.
Chicago's kind of a crazy house party.
Yeah.
What?
I would like you to play one or two songs before they try to shut it down.
Don't do anything stupid. Let's just get fucking stupid.
In the bowling alley.
We're in memory lane, so let's make some fucking memories tonight. Let's fucking dance out there, baby. We got one for you to skip in about two.
And then the fucking farm when it came out of court.
Holy shit.
I can't believe how many of you crazy assholes showed up.
Let's fucking celebrate it. Yes.
Survive.
Amen.
No blood and no death.
Take the slot for it.
Oh shit, Narcan, somebody's ODing. Does anybody have Narcan on this fucking property? Narcan, does anybody have Narcan?
What's it like when you fast forward 22 years later?
She's breathing. Marco's here. She's breathing. They're taking her away.
Wanting to contribute something new to it. I'm really upset today about the fact that we're making new music together and it's not working.
Fucking sucked.
Keep saying it, like no one cares about new music except us, so we should be fucking proud of it. You dick. You little shit. What are you doing here, Andy? What are you capturing here? Seriously. Man, I look like shit. Whew.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to South by Southwest 2026. I'm Kelly Cawthron. I'm the Director of Global Client Success at South by Southwest, and I'm very excited to welcome you to this session. As an Oklahoman girl myself, with red dirt in my soul, these guys hail from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Anybody make it out to Stubbs last night? Yes, great show for their first ever South by Southwest appearance. Welcome the All-American Rejects.
Thanks everybody for coming. Morning this afternoon. They asked us to do this panel and to have a moderator, and this is our good friend Nathan who's joining us, who was in the van with us from the beginning. He's a Austin music lover, and Nate, a lot of fans, local fans. And it felt like this could get really clinical, so I just wanted to tell the story of these house parties, because that was just, it's a fascinating tale, and what it's done for this band is worth kind of bringing back to life in this room today. This ain't nothing but a pipe dream, as my father's words cauterized into my 16-year-old ears as I rode shotgun down some nowhere Oklahoma dusty back road. At the time, pitching the idea that the All-American Rejects were going to be a success was a big pill to swallow for our small-town families, especially the prospect that an independent artist could carve out some peace for themselves in the world of music in 2002. Nonetheless, we smoked that shit. 20-some years later, having negotiated the release from our major label deal with Interscope Records, the band had been spinning our wheels for over a decade, and where the rubber had once hit the road had become a bare wheel of inactivity, until we met a 29-year-old queen named Megan Kramer. I have a drawing of her because she hates to be pictured, so this is Megan. And she constantly says, "kill myself," so that's what's on her shirt. She loved this band. She loves this band. Probably the first manager that we've ever had that actually loved the band. She believed in us, and she seemed way more inspired and capable to manage us than the dinosaurs that were driving the boat at the time. Even ourselves, we had grown a bit Cretaceous. She inspired us to create new music. She found us a distributor. Great. Now we have to go and promote said music as one does in 2025. How do you do that? We learned about the incredible world of digital advertising and the dark art of TikTok creator buys. Such a fucking sexy landscape to explore as an artist. In a world where throwing any amount of money into those spaces as an unsigned artist would be basically pissing in the wind, we were at some of it an impasse, but Megan had an idea. Bing. A simple, foolish, pain in the ass, incredible idea. Why don't you guys play house parties? That's my Megan voice. Huh? Yeah. We go and play backyards like at the end of those movies about college and shit. Well, it's either that or waste a bunch of fucking money on artificial reality purchases. So we molded over. Fuck it. We're going to go Vegas, roll the dice. And there wasn't a grand design, by the way. This wasn't something calculated with some sort of certainty of return. But there was a heart to it. And it was all centered around the hope that we could connect to our fans again. And as a band, find our love for what we do anew by sharing new music. So on a day in May, after we got paid to play some corporate event for Kroger Grocers, which felt like a bad under-attended PTA mixer. It felt like kind of like this. No. I mean, ballroom. Imagine putting a band on stage in a space like this and actually trying to vibe out. We filled up our coffers with a $50,000 paycheck. Thank you, Kroger. No video walls to hide behind, no giant explosions or fire shows or bullshit production trickery. Just the band, a crew, bus, trailer, and a tiny PA system. We plotted our course. having no idea that we were about to embark on a journey that, for a hot minute, would kind of tilt the world. First stop was the University of Wisconsin in Green Bay. It was finals week, and the local college radio station had secretly negotiated our spot on the quad for the evening's festivities. The 12 of us left our rolling tin can and set up the site and went to town on our big marketing campaign for the show. I may have overreached by knocking on doors when exams were going on. Canva.
Green Bay? It's Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go tell these kids where the party's at. Dudes, I'm sorry to interrupt. I sing for a band called the All American Rejects, and we are playing the quad right now in like 2 hours. This is important university studies. I'm just trying to...
This is a final exam. You guys are... Get the hell out of here.
Come on. Life is more than college.
That guy was really stoked on me. We had an incredible advertisement plan that our road crew, the Hogs, deployed. Sidewalk chalk. It's very, very, very thoughtful. And by nightfall, the bells had rung, finals were over, and people came. Surprisingly, honestly, more than I thought. I was really shit-talking this whole thing, honestly. Yeah. It was a cool show.
I was up front, I was in the back, and no matter what, it was good. I loved it so much. Please come back. Dead ass, please come back.
By all measures, the evening was a success. Dead ass. A night of merriment and music at eye level without anyone in attendance having to pony up any cash to join in. The circus came to town. We swept up the peanuts, took down the big top, and Chicago, here we come. There was a sizable shift in scope the morning that we pulled into this neighborhood. People were already queuing up outside of the house, even though we hadn't posted the address yet. Some of the videos from the night before, I guess, were kind of circulating, though none of us were really tracking that. But boy, Megan was. She had this twinkle in her eye that day, and every time I'd walk by her, she'd sing a little, "It's working," in passing. The host of this house had thrown a couple basement shows, and the spot was kind of known as a neighborhood noisemaker. He, his wife, and his infant child had a modest 2-bedroom townhouse with 1 bathroom, which they would generously let the entire crowd use during the show. 500 people, 1 toilet. I've been to that website. By 3 p.m., the address had been announced, and there was 5,000 people wrapped in a labyrinth through the Chicago neighborhoods. I walked the line a couple times and just sheer curiosity to pass out some waters. And there was something palpable in this line that became a recurring vibe at these shows. This was more than a line. I've been to shows. I've seen those lines. This was a community. This was a community of people, like all walks of life. And I guess that was fascinating to me because it felt so different than the usual, pre-show crowd. And those in line were tested by the elements that day. And about an hour to doors, the Chicago skies opened up a downpour that felt pretty rapturous even for these Okies. But the line didn't even bend, let alone break apart in its baptism. By the time it settled down, Chicago police had locked down the street on both ends, and we thought, oh shit, the Titanic has hit the iceberg. But miraculously, they just wanted to have a presence to keep the peace for the crowd in line, and with some silver-tongued bullshit, Megan charmed their ease further. In a last-minute musing, I knocked on the neighbor's door to negotiate the rental for the adjacent backyard. I talked this guy down from $1,000. He was trying to shake me down, a prick. And we opened the gates. We packed them in like sardines, and the whole neighborhood was alive with the bellows of the Rejects. It was probably one of the greatest shows I've ever been to, let alone been a part of. Like the end of Footloose when Kevin Bacon is finally allowed to dance. It was abandonment, joy, not a twisted ankle in the whole jitterbug of the night. After Chicago, I guess it went viral. I digress to say that when we first approached our booking agency, or really anyone for that matter, they all had the same response. Why would you do that? That's a New York accent, yeah. Why would you do that? You're just going to lose money. We asked for help. in the same building on the sponsor side. Well, because we needed water for the kids and any food or snacks. And for the most part, it was BYOB, which the crowd was just self-anointing them to do. We were also told that no one would donate products for this. No love all around in terms of the usual channels. But to our surprise, Megan said, bitches do be slipping in the DMs. To our surprise, we had a flood of brands offering us to peddle their wares. We had reality stars asking if they would play their houses. We had SZA, we had the Questlove, and we had the King Troll himself, Fred Durst. The holy trinity of social media relevance had blessed us with acknowledgement. Rolling Stone even wanted to interview us, and we didn't have to pay for the article? Fuck. Nice. So now we're booking our own shows, running our own product drops to land at shows. Sweet. DIY. Fuck the suits. What did they know? We seem to chase the Chicago rain to the next stop, Minneapolis, where our host's indoor option was a basement that could accommodate 30 people. Dude said 100. And one exit. Yikes. It felt like a catastrophe. I've seen this movie before. It doesn't end well. So we scrambled, and everyone pulled out their phones and called literally every place we could find. I got a record store. Shit's too small. I got a 1,200 cap room with a PA. Oh no, Live Nation owns it. Fuck that. Nah, that's not the wave here. Well, what about a bowling alley? Seriously? An hour later, a surly bartender that went by the name Hammer met us at the back door of Memory Lanes. We load in, and they have a plywood deck in the middle of lanes 10 through 12, and we were going to fucking roll. By 6 p.m., rain be damned, there's thousands of people waiting again outside. And once again, they stood in that rain undeterred. There were so many people that we even added a second set. We managed to turn over 750 people twice in a 30-minute turnover for 2 sets. And at the end of the night, the bartender Hammer had a Texas-sized smile on her face. Her tip jar had runneth over. We handed another big bucket of $5 donations to the owner of the alley, and with tears in his eyes, he said, "You guys just saved my summer." The mission just leveled up. We found a way to give as it grew. And in the heat of the show, I'm not really sure what provoked it, I called attention to the elephant in the room.
We're not trying to sell you finance tickets to Coachella. We're not trying to sell you Ticketmaster fucking penalty fees. We're not trying to sell you $25 parking. We're just trying to sell you some songs you might have grown up with and let you fucking let go with us in this non-denominational church of rock and roll.
Yeah, the Hunger Games District 1 level of economic disparity when it comes to going to a concert has reached a bit of a breaking point. I guess I tapped into something there. Didn't mean to, but this clip got passed around a lot. It struck a nerve, CNN and all that shit, and it launched this tour into the national conversation. In an attempt to organize these events, we threw out a link for those interested to RSVP or brave enough to host us. In 48 hours, that number surpassed 800,000 phone numbers and emails, 25,000 venues that went from as small as a studio apartment to as big as a high school stadium that seated 18,000. Wild. Third spaces. They're viable. And trotting off, we went to our steel horse, to the cornfields of Iowa. This was the craziest show. We found an incredible host there. A brilliant architect and artist reclaimed an old popcorn factory that used to turn out their small batches long before being eaten by the Monsanto monster. He acquired the space to teach his college course and offer a sanctuary away from the university for his students. He had a small garage with a blue door that backed up to the cornfield overlooking the property. His only request was that his son's band open for us and that we collect a $5 donation for every butt we could squeeze in to benefit the college radio station. We announced the show around 2 p.m., and by 5 o'clock, we had 4 miles of cars hugging the shoulders of the small-town dirt road surrounding the Cracker Jack Jamboree. We were grossly underprepared for this.
Those people down there.
I was like flying, man.
It goes like this, and then it goes like this. And then the cars go like this, and then like this. What happened in Ames, Iowa?
I was flying, man. It was like the end of Field of Dreams, except the credits rolled before everybody saw where Kevin Costner parked all those fucking cars. I could tell the host was getting super nervous, but she was trying to use some word salad on me. Well, this is your thing. I'm like, lady, you're the host, man. We just do the dance. Everybody was nervous. People, I could tell the host was getting nervous when the human wall of scrawny volunteers, and no shit, they were like hand in hand, holding back, 4,000 people or whatever. And when that broke, the flood of people stormed the castle. People were running through the cornfields, and we had one porta potty to serve them. The cornfields would be fruitfully fertilized by the night's end. Contrary to Chicago, this show was downright terrifying to play. The crowd was kind, but just so many fucking people that were left to control themselves. We called the cops hoping they would show face like Chicago should anyone get out of hand, and we were told, we only got 2 units on tonight, so just call us if something bad happens. Yeah. And then something bad did happen. A young lady in the crowd OD'd on God knows what during the second to last song. We stopped the show. The crowd chanted Narcan, and by some miracle, we had 3 nurses in the crowd holding. It took all 3 to bring her back. She survived and went on to make a full recovery. But the kindness and care displayed in this moment was absolutely staggering. I've never seen such a display of urgent compassion by a group that big in my life. We were all very humbled that night. Playing fast and loose wasn't going to cut it, so if we were going to continue, we had to put our full focus into infrastructure and safety. We learned how many people one porta potty could sustain for a 2-hour timetable, the hard way. We arranged for security and EMT to be on site for the next shows, and we kicked the corn to Columbia, Missouri. This one was just perfect, and kudos to the host for letting us steal all her lamps out of her house to create our amazing lighting rig. And an extra special thanks to the Columbia Police Department for only shutting us down for 10 minutes.
The cops just shut us down. Sorry, y'all. We just got kicked off campus. Fucking cops, man.
No, I called my boss and said, hey, they're being super cool with us. Like, can we let them finish one more song and get the hell out of here? And he's like, yeah, go for it. She had a face that made me feel like somebody else stabbed her.
Yeah, so that night we raised enough money to save the college mom and pop movie theater. Nashville was more the same. The only casualty was a broken fence that some little rascals broke to sneak in on the side. I guess some guys pulled out all their ladders from their garage and rented them for $150 to some poor saps that could see over the rear perimeter fence. In Fayetteville, we played a skating rink, partnered up with Slim Chickens to feed the crowd for free, and they even gave away 85,000 meals the next day if you ordered the All-American Rejects meal, which was fucking incredible. That was a really cool thing, man. Yeah, no. My sister was like, it's real.
What a promotion!
Thank you, Grandma.
This restaurant is the best of all. I love All American Rejects, and I'm here to eat some chickens. Woo!
All right, yeah, that's enough of that Slim Chickens commercial. But the fact that this corporation was generous enough to give away shit, like that was the whole mission around this thing, was how many people can we just get to give? And here's a slide of some A&R guy from Capitol Records trying to get fresh with us, trying to steal the sauce. I just thought that was fucking great. Dallas was a skate park that doubled as a food pantry for the unhoused. Every show was utterly unforgettable. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks after it. None of us did. We did the damn thing. We really did it. And Megan was right. House parties went the fuck off, and if this was a pipe dream, it was alabaster, and it would make even Gandalf jealous. Look at these numbers, nerds. There was something left in the creator of this impact. I couldn't help but be interested in this tool that we kind of had to design out of necessity that my friend Brian, who is also a nerdy engineer, created so we could actually pick venues and organize the chaos. And we kept cycling on this idea of backyards and third spaces. I remember how we played VFWs and pizza parlors and God knows where on some of the first tours in a van we had. There was something here, something we tapped back into, and it's now become something we're calling Playhouse. How does a band in 2026 book a show? You have no booking agent, you have no manager. You have like, 30 to 100,000 followers on socials, but you can't afford to play out. And if you can, half the time you have to sell your own tickets and pay the difference to hit the stage. Venue has overhead, they have staff and utilities, I get it. But what dignity is there in a pay-to-play show at 5 p.m. at the Bluesky in LA? Maybe there's another way. Playhouse is a platform that offers direct artist-to-fan show creation. Willing hosts offer their space, and the artists can plot their tour based on that demand. The artist sets the ticket price, the capacity, and the date. Artists can make money touring? Wow, nice. House shows are the realest shows that we've ever played. I know we made fans for life out of every one of them, and now so can anyone. We love these shows so much, we're going to do it all over again. No music, spoiled cities, Austin. But the All-American Rejects are going to be doing another house party tour, and it's going to be powered by Playhouse. Rejects House Parties Round 2 starts back up in May. See you in the sandbox. Yeah, that's it. So, Nathan, you want to talk to us?
I mean, I miss you guys.
We miss you.
You're welcome to play my house in the next one, in the suburbs of Austin. I'm sure it'll go over real well. But let's talk about this. What do you guys get out of it? Like, you're obviously giving back a lot, but what as a band do you guys get in terms of like, look, you're trying to make a living. What else do you all get at the end of the day by playing house parties? Like, we've heard from Tyson. We love Tyson, but I'd love to hear Nick. Like, what do you get out of it as a musician, performer, etc.?
I mean, I will say, and granted it was a different time, but in, the early and late 2000s, we toured to promote our music. We didn't tour to make money. Fortunately, there were some people buying our CDs, so that could fund said tours, but I mean, we just wanted to have fun and play shows, and this reminds me of that, verbatim, exactly how we started, just playing shows to have fun and promote the thing that we do.
I mean, anybody else have anything to add? Chris?
I got a free pair of Crocs and a Slim Chickens gift card worth over $800. Who's the winner?
It's a lot of chicken.
And you get really weird looks from the cashiers when you use that and they see the remaining balance.
So everyone got free Slim Chickens?
Yeah.
These are different days.
No, but these shows, I think, have given us a soul back to playing shows. For many years now, I think we've played, very high stages with far barricades. And, there's a distance there that, I don't know, getting back to playing, with nothing separating us, it reminded us of the excitement we had when we first started doing this, that, it slowly gets whittled away as you get this success. It's this trade-off, and
It's fun to make these, have these stories to tell again, because, just watching this, I'm reminded of, what was that suburb outside of Atlanta that literally had a plywood stage? Swayze's. There were folding tables fovered in plywood, and just venues and stories like that. It's really neat, actually creating these new stories.
I just want to add, to me, these shows were very gratifying for us as a band, but I think it was what I saw out in these crowds. After after a certain point, only certain people were going to get into this show. But the line, the community outside in the line, the fellowship that I got to witness, like in a time where, you know, that is not really something we get to observe as Americans all the time, like people coming together and being happy and celebrating some common thing that they're willing to participate in. Like the younger crowd, the post-COVID crowd, the kids that had 2 years robbed of their adolescence, they're coming to these shows, getting raised up by their peers to crowd surf, and they're being held. You know, there was a really interesting psychology to it where you're just like, man, this is like, some of these kids are just this is some of their first shows where they get to be asses to elbows and not have to be sort of managed by security the entire night in some giant arena. It was like just reckless abandonment, and veils were lifted, eyes were as big as plates.
So you go back out in May. How do you bring other bands on board? Because look, when we were all out, and I was the world's possible worst merch man ever, unable to fold shirts like a champ. When we were all out, we toured Motion City Soundtrack, Limbeck, and we had a tight little circle of like bands growing up together, right? How do you get back to that aspect where you can incorporate other bands to come on the road with you and be like, hey, let's go on this mini house party tour and do 2 weeks together?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I think that's kind of the goal is like, bands have become so estranged from like that togetherness because bands are kind of the black sheep now. And yeah, this is a communal project, I think. You know, this is about creating those strongholds. If you're a band in Iowa with a small audience, and you're a band in Missouri with the same small audience, and you guys can piggyback and plot a course and actually like not have to, you know, go into your savings to do it, like that's hopefully that creates that sort of environment where younger bands are starting to get those brotherhood bonds. Because yeah, like you said, we toured with some of the bands for for years. We would just be like, this is who we're going out with, and that was like the way, and it was totally cool. But that has changed. It's every man for himself. It's survival out there, losing money. I see all these things that pop up about artists where they're like, when I tour the States, I go into this much debt. Like, it's like, that's the reality. It's like everybody's just going broke trying to just secure like a connection with their fans. It's awful.
Does this solve the financial aspect of that though?
I think it can.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have a promoter and a venue fee and you're selling $40 tickets to 30 people to play an acoustic show in a bedroom or in a house, like that gives you enough to sustain the gas to get you to the next city and do it all over again, and you might actually make some money. Versus, like I said, that guy was in a band. They sold out the Bowery Ballroom, and their guarantee like couldn't even cover their costs to play the show. It's like, you sell out a room now and you can't even make money doing it? When did that happen?
When did that happen for you guys? I mean,
we always went in the red touring, man. It was our manager was like, managers commission off top of gross. So they were like, cool, here you got a tour that you're grossing $300,000. I'm gonna take my 30 grand and or 50 grand, and then you guys are gonna go in debt 150 because you want to bring some small production with you. And it was like, okay, thank God that Rock Band synced our song. You know, we were paying for tours with publishing. That was how we've always operated.
So where does the rest of the industry go, right? I mean, everyone's in the same position. You're fighting for TikTok views, etc. Where does everybody else go from here? Where do the smaller bands go? Because look, you guys I've known you guys for nearly 27 years now. You guys have that built-in success. Where does the smaller band get to where you are?
You have to play out. That was the only recipe that we knew, man. Like, and I think it's more viable now because you have all these bands that are like huge on TikTok, but like I noticed that the affinity for them is like, that's my TikTok band. They won't buy a ticket to see that band. You know, we even did a case study for Playhouse with Paradox, and they have 3 million followers on TikTok and all this shit, and they played Atlanta, their hometown. And they did a free show announce, and they got 200 people out. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't translate to me. Like, how can a band with less than 500,000 followers on Instagram play to bigger crowds? There's something about having to get out and face your crowd to see them so that they know that you're real and that they love you. And fandom is like become digitized so bad. I think we have to. The only way to do it is to go back to formula and play shows, man.
So the interesting thing, how much time afterwards? So as I was getting my badge today, the young lady checking me in was telling me that one of her greatest experiences with y'all, because I told her what I was doing, and she said she met y'all in high school, and she couldn't have been, it was the moment for her when she was like, they were so kind and so generous. How much time do y'all spend with the fans? How much of yourselves can you afford to still give to people after these shows, if any?
Zero, pretty much. I mean, man, it's like I have a family. I don't know. I mean, we're also dead tired at the end of shows. Like we don't have the time that we used to have to go out there and press flesh and connect with people. But that's what the shows are for, and that's what these shows are for.
Well, and like you said earlier, in Minneapolis, we just decided to play another show just so that more people could come in, because there were thousands, but we could only get in 200 or 300. So, yeah, we didn't necessarily go and meet people face to face, or I didn't personally, but we fucking went out there for another hour and played another show, played a different set.
Yeah, we're the worst, like, at that shit. It's hard. It's hard to like really to jump out of the car for an hour and do that. But yeah, we still make those moments. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, what as a fan do you expect from an artist, I guess, that you like nowadays? Like, I'd rather go see them play at the smallest room possible, and not get my picture. But that's just me. I don't know.
Let's go around the room and let's ask the four of you. Chris, favorite show of that tour?
Probably Columbia, Missouri, or yeah. Go Cardinals. Or the skate park was good just visually.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt like I was in a Sum 41 video.
I mean, the Columbia one is hard to beat because it literally looked like a movie. It was just the way those houses were and kids like sitting on the roof, and it was, and then the cops coming and shutting us down for a minute, and then like it was, you couldn't have scripted that any better.
Yeah,
and people keep asking me if we, oh my God, keep asking me if we scripted that, like, and it's like, no, those are real cops. Really,
Yeah, I don't know how we got body cam footage for that, but yeah.
Same show, all of you guys?
I mean, that was pretty unbeatable. Nashville was great. I've been living in Nashville for the last 10 years, so that was really fun to go down the street and bring this to my neighborhood. That was a lot of fun. It's hard to pick just one. I mean, they were so different, like a cornfield and then a college house. I saw, speaking of the Columbia one, I think it was in that sizzle reel, some girl's like, this must have been what house parties were like in 2012. I'm like, I got a kick out of that.
Yeah, Ames, the cornfield was my favorite. Even the harrowing moments, like just watching everybody just react so beautifully in that moment. It gave me a little more hope in humanity.
That is like, speaking to the community aspect, was, you know, we saw how insane the turnout was for that, and Tyson just went up before we even played and was just like, be cool, you know, like kind of gave a little, like, just like everybody respect each other, respect the place, and everyone did. And it was like 4,000 plus people who were all just very chill and kept it together. And yeah, I don't know, it goes to show that, yeah, there is something to, I don't know, people respecting something when they're all together and want it, you know, and that's not something I don't feel like we see too often.
So I think one question that I have, just as a person that goes to a lot of shows and kicks it around Austin scene, how does safety play a role into your plans? Because like you were talking a little bit, Iowa, that show. What else goes on into like the planning aspect of like protecting the fans and also protecting yourselves? Like it's a live environment that, you know, there's no bouncers running the show.
Yeah, we hired security. With that was a necessity. And it also, yeah, just kept everybody safe. So, yeah, we devised a per capita sort of what security needs to be for keeping the peace, and yeah, it became a huge thing after Ames. Like, oh shit, Like, we need to actually be really thoughtful moving forward.
Yeah, especially like that was lightning in a bottle. Like last year, what we did, we was kind of learning as we go. But to make it sustainable and to get to do it again this year, it's definitely like figuring out how to cover all those bases.
So will the Playhouse aspect have something that, like for me, inclusivity for everyone is an important aspect of all shows, but also fan safety, band safety. Like, how does that play into the concept?
Well, to me, you know, our shows are very unique to be able to provide for this sort of idea, this platform. I don't. We have a check. We have basically like a guide checklist. Tells you if you need to pull permits for sound ordinance for that day. If you recommending basically local vendors for porta potties, for security, for EMT. But if you're anticipating 150 people to show up in your backyard, it's like saying, have you ever had a backyard party with 150 people in it? Did you ask for security to be there? Like, these things don't have to be, the stakes aren't as high whenever you're there being human, loading your shit in. It sets a completely different precedent for what a show can feel like and need to be. But yeah, if you're packing more people in there, then yeah, the hair starts to stand up on the back of your neck, and you should probably hire a couple security people just for everyone there to be safe. And again, the host can designate that. Like, it's just more about creating your show, artists creating a show.
So in terms of like the community aspect, what's like, and Ty, like you've got young kids, what's the one takeaway for you that like you want to bring from like house parties, traveling, touring to them? Like, what's that one lasting like community aspect that you want to make sure that your kids have?
I mean, I think it's a forced proximity that creates the thing that you can't, the intangible thing that you can't just make happen, right? It's like, hey, you guys are all going to be together. And it's like what happens whenever you're in that subway and somebody starts playing music and everybody shares smiles. It's organic. It doesn't. But what I want is for people to get to know each other. I think for what I noticed at these shows, these fans of ours, that when they find other people that drove 8 hours to go to this pop-up, that they have this common like icebreaker. They're like, oh man, we did too, and it immediately creates this like, oh wow, we both like the same thing. It's not political, it's not religious, it's just like, I like music, and so maybe we can have a conversation and get along and become friends. I don't know, like it was really natural watching all that happen, and yeah, it just doesn't happen at real shows the same way. It's more of a cattle herding experience.
So in terms of, and look, right after that, you got your Joe Bros tour, and you went on tour, playing arenas, stadiums, etc. How do you balance that going forward? Like, how do you balance these giant, massive shows where you don't have that connection?
It sucks. That tour was a dog. It was awesome. It was awesome to those guys run an amazing machine, and their audience is so generous and gracious. But it was really hard to sort of look in a floor filled with people that look like, you know, like Monopoly people and like oil barons and shit to get the floor seats on these arenas. It's a hard show to open. Give me house parties any day of the week.
Yeah, it was definitely polarizing coming off the house parties and then jumping right into those big concrete bowls.
Yeah, I felt like I was playing in an empty room because I was so far back in this giant space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, before we have some fan questions that popped up here, what's the one thing that you would go and tell? I mean, again, what's the one thing you'd go back and tell young Tyson at the Bat Cave, hanging out with all his friends? Like, this is 2001. What's the one thing you go back and tell everybody?
That's the house where we all lived together back
It burned down.
2002. It did burn down. Yeah.
I shouldn't have run the microwave at the same time as the air conditioner.
Yep.
I should have known. It was on the lease. I mean, you know, smoke less weed and everything's gonna go fine. I mean, I don't think I'd change anything. I used to think our band name was just this curse. We're the Rejects. Oh shit! Of course we didn't get that festival. We're the Rejects. Of course we can't play to that crowd. But now, you know, I feel like I say this a lot. I feel like we were always the songs that had that band. And I feel like last year we finally like created something that made us the band with those songs. And that we did it on the back of this sort of blue collar crusade. I've never been more proud to be a Reject, man. It's really cool. The clapping after was, sorry, it's just funny sounding. Yes, yes. Yeah.
So polite.
Yeah.
So, so we have some questions here. How do you go from, well, there we go, kind of the similar thing. How do you go from playing independent shows to being back on Warped Tour?
I don't think they do Warped Tour anymore.
Yeah, we just played like a festival. You know, you just go. I don't know. Next question.
Yeah. So, I'm just reading off the top. Fan from Germany wants to know, are you going to take the house party overseas?
Das House Party? Yeah. Yeah, we got some plans when we're going over there this summer. Not going to throw them out there, but yeah, we're going to try to see if we can plug our cables into their horrible power.
And one more question. Looks like, how can DIY community, intimacy and audience to artist relationships be preserved to a greater capacities?
GA, man. General admission. Fields. Like no elitist like shit. No tiered make your my mind it's like $150 for the front row and make them cheaper all the way back. Like I there's got to be a way to take this this opulence down to back to an accessible price range.
Yeah, and those big venues used to feel more like these shows. Like I remember going to concerts in middle school and junior high where it'd be a big arena to see like Metallica or something, and when the lights would go out, that's when we would all jump over the wall so that we could be on the floor in the general admission. And yeah, I don't think you could get that right now. So turn off the lights.
Because rich people suck to play for. They just really do. We played shows in Aspen and we played shows in Atlanta, and there's a big fucking difference in the crowds. Rich people don't like to move. They're like music spoiled. They get everything they want. When that's who you have in front of you, that's the word. That should be the opposite dynamic ticket pricing. Cheapest seats are in the front. Rich people go to your fucking box and eat the food and pretend you're listening to half the show. That's what you do anyways.
Before I jump to some more questions, I have just brought up a thought. And, I was there when we got kicked off the CKY tour. It's probably my fault.
It was most certainly my fault.
You're way better at drinking than me then.
Look, that guy still wanted to fight me, but that's fine. Do you expect any industry backlash, or obviously we're too old to really care, but do you worry about, people at Capitol Records or Spotify being like, you know what, we're not going to promote this because you guys are doing this outside of the industry box, that you guys are forcing us to look at ourselves and have some sort of reflection? Do you expect any backlash? Do we care?
God, I hope so.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I hope so. I'd love to hear the piggies squeal, man. A lot of dinosaurs up there in these big old ivory towers now, and the changing of the guard with the youth that we've brought into just even management. Like Megan and Jordan are these just hungry and just bright people that when they get in these conversations with the dinosaurs, you can hear how dumb they are. Because you hear them, basically, they just question them, like, say, like, well, why? And they're like, well, because this is the way it's done. And it's like, that's not even a cop-out anymore. It's just like, no, it's not, man. You can make a sandwich way different than that. And you can share it with everybody instead of eating it your whole self, man. And I think it's happening right now. This is great. We're in this real time where, major labels have been snatching up artists, but basically just completely taking their audience, right? Like they're like, great, you have 5 million followers. We're going to make you a TikTok star into a musician. What a fucking awful way to watch our culture create taste by anointing people who probably just see this as more content. Oh, now I do this music content. This is music is art. This is sacred. You don't just get you have to be invited by your spirit to be a part of it, not just like some big walleted man who likes that you have 20 million TikTok followers. It's fucked up.
I like this question here. Also, having seen you guys play in various places and knowing where you've grown up, you highlighted the importance of third spaces. Are there any venues you'd love to play in this realm of things?
Church. I want to play a church. I think it's a very underutilized third space. Sunday, maybe Wednesday, donuts. Libraries, public libraries, yoga studios, coffee shops. I think the
car garage.
Absolutely. I think, especially in these weird economic times, like people, owners of businesses that shut their lights off at 5 p.m., they could turn them on at 7. And they can make another day's worth of income by arranging something to not only satisfy what they want to be able to cover utilities, but also like create these amazing experiences locally.
So one final question before it looks like we're running out of time, but I'm gonna turn this to these two. So Nick and Tyson grew up in Stillwater. Chris and Mike are a little further southwest-ish. And this question is asking, as an Okie, growing up in Oklahoma, did it make you more empathetic to the plight of fans? And let's say, how has the Edmond area stayed with you?
I mean, yeah, there was no shows growing up, so we literally just made our own scene. We'd rent out like a VFW hall, and all the local bands would play every weekend, So it definitely stuck with me. It's like revisiting this in my 40s. I'm like, I'm playing a house again, huh? Just back at it.
I mean, what about you two? Stillwater still hold true?
I mean, yeah, same thing. Like we didn't even have a VFW hall. I don't think we put on Well, yeah, we did find a bar that let us play there, even though we were 15 and 17. But had we not had that bar, it would have just been the field parties that we were putting on ourselves.
Yeah, we would have been screwed. Yeah, I think being from Stillwater stays with us in the way, in every walk into this world, especially in facing this big beast of a music business, 25 years later. I feel like I'm in my Oklahoma pocket right now more than I've ever been, just because there's so much I just don't want to participate in.
Yeah, and unlike those two, actually, Stillwater didn't really have a scene. Like, we were, I think, one of the only bands for a minute.
I was going to say, that was how I met you guys. Like, y'all were, I mean, look, being in 1999, 2000, if you were one of, the 200 weird kids in Stillwater, Oklahoma, you all came to the same shop, you all hung out and listened to the same music and came to the same space. You guys had a little bit different down in Edmond. You have a bigger scene, some characters that we know. But I think that's the important thing, and I think that, as we wrap this up, the one thing that makes me more appreciative of this experience is that, and I'll tell you all, I've known them since they were teenagers. I've known them a few years later. Nothing's changed on this stage, other than it's come full circle. They are the same kids that came into my vintage clothing store that I worked at with my friend Brian. They're the same kids now that I'd go hunting for records at in every city that we were on tour. And I'm super proud of the way that they've approached this and come back full circle to being the same humans that they've always been. And so congrats to them
thanks,
on all
buddy.
of that.
Here's a soft clap. Thank you. And I just want to say this because we always never talk about it, because we're doing this for the first time in 10 years. This band, we didn't make music for a long time, and I think we were faced up. Every time we'd approach a major label or something, they'd be like, "Yeah, you guys gonna get us another move along?" That was every conversation. We're like, "Well, that's not really the aim, but we want to make more music." They're like, "Yeah, pass." I'm proud of the people we are, but I'm also proud that we're able to make an offering 25 years later that is going to probably confront a lot of people with expectations of what the All-American Rejects should sound like. And I think I'm very proud that not only we got this panel and got this opportunity to talk about what we did the past year, but I'm really proud of the new music that we're offering in May. which is something you never want to hear somebody who you know has a bunch of old songs say. But it's not a blues record, so that's what it's got going for it. But yeah, it's called Sandbox, and we're, my manager's, shaking the talk about the album, baby. Talk about the new music, baby. Megan's the best. Stand up, Megan. I just gotta. You were drawn, but you need to be seen. This is the queen. This is the future of the music business. It's gonna eat you all fucking alive, man. The monster. But yeah, are there any questions out in the old audience about this stuff, or should we are they kicking
The
us
clock
off?
says 0.
Oh, we're done. We're done. So never mind. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for checking
Thanks,
it out.
everybody.